On this week's episode, I'll be talking about The Rock doing a remake and reviewing Ex Machina. Welcome to this week's episode of Geekiest of the Geeks. I am your four-eyed host, Doug Croft. In the nerd rumor mill this week, everyone is talking about The Rock doing a remake of Big Trouble in Little China. My response, like that of most nerds, is...
God, will you leave him alone?
Now, if you're protecting Jack
You
Burton...
leave Jack Burton alone.
I'll admit, I've enjoyed some of The Rock's movies, and he has good comedic timing for an actor, but this is not the kind of movie that we need a remake of. Frankly, there's just no way I can see him improving on this movie or a new script improving on this movie. There's a reason this movie is a classic as it is. I can't think of a single thing that a remake could do better than the original. It's also one of the few movies I've watched with the director's commentary turned on, because listening to John Carpenter and Kurt Russell discuss the movie was really cool. I highly recommend watching it. It's a comedy that takes place in 1980s San Francisco Chinatown. Jack Burton is sort of a fish out of water in a world where Chinese fairy tales are real. He bumbles his way through the movie thinking that he's the hero, but never quite realizing that he's actually the sidekick.
You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
This is high on my list of favorite movies. Next up, my review of Ex Machina, written and directed by Alex Garland, starring Alicia Vikander, Donald Gleason, and Oscar Isaac.
Over the next few days, you're going to be the human component in the Turing test.
One day the AIs are going to look back on us the same way we look at fossils.
This is a movie that explores the line between humans and artificial intelligence. It's set in the near future where the eccentric founder of an internet search engine decides to invent artificial intelligence. He sent out an invitation to one of his employee programmers to come to his home research laboratory to see what he's been working on and to take part in a variation of the Turing test. This story could basically be a continuation of the 2004 Battlestar Galactica series in the themes that it's exploring between, artificial intelligence and human creation of that artificial intelligence and how we should be, treating our creation. These are not new themes in science fiction, but I thought this movie did a good job retreading these kind of worn tropes and presenting them in a new way. If you haven't seen this movie yet, I would recommend it if it's in your area or when it comes out on Blu-ray.
This is your insecurity talking. This is not your intellect.
Did you know that I was brought here to test you?
Does Ava actually like you? Or is she pretending to like you?
Nathan isn't your friend. I'm wrong.
Wrong about what?
Everything. Do you want to be with me?
Can we talk about the lies you've been spinning me?
What lies?
You have to help me.
That's it for this week's episode. Thank you for tuning in. There are links down below to click on and follow us and stalk us on social media. As always, please consider hitting that subscribe button down there. Give it the old clickety click, click, click. And I'll see you next time. And we'll find out what Jack Burton always does at a time like this, when some wild-eyed 8-foot-tall maniac grabs him by the throat, taps the back of his favorite head up against the barroom wall, looks him crooked in the eye, and asks him if he's paid his dues. Have you paid your dues? Well, have you, Jack?